What's up, guys? Neil over here taking a look at the Stokastic MLB DFS Lineup Generator for tonight's slate. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. If you haven't already signed up for the Lineup Generator, you can use the link in the description of this video or in my tweet. You can get it for 50% off your first week using that link. It'll be just $4.48 for that first week. Even after that week, though, it's just going to be $8.95. Still a great deal for a tool that only gives you long-term profitable lineups. Of course, we've also got this great deal going on with Caesars. You can see it on the screen right in this video. Use my link. You can make a $50 bet, get $250 in bonus bets. Those are going to be in $50 increments. So you're not going to get the $250 all at once, but over time, you're going to get 5 different $50 bonus bets. Fantastic deals, not just matching the money you put in, they are 5xing the amount of money that you're putting in at Caesars. Use the link to take advantage of this deal. This deal is not going to be offered beyond September 19th is going to be the last day of the deal. So take advantage of it now while you can. If you have sports betting in your state and you haven't signed up with Caesars, of course, you need to be 21 plus in most states to gamble. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's take a look at some DraftKings lineups to start. You can do all stack types, all lineup types, not locking anybody. This will be interesting to see how much Spencer Strider we get at that $12,800 price tag. First lineup, we don't have Strider. We've got Brandon Pfaadt and Kodai Senga as the pitchers, looking in the top pitchers tool. Senga second on the board with a 15% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. Pfaadt is down a little bit below the midway point, 7% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. Also a 26% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher at 5,600. Looking at the stacks in this lineup, we have the Orioles 5-man stack. That is the only stack. And then 3 one-offs with Ji-Hwan Bae, Corbin Carroll, and Seth Brown. So looking at the Orioles in the top stacks tool. Second on the board against Kyle Freeland, 7% chance of being the top stack. And this one on the chalkier end of the spectrum, but not especially chalky. All right, I'm going to save this one. This one more contrarian here. So now we have Dylan Cease and Yu Darvish as the pitchers, looking in the top pitchers tool. Cease third on the board with a 14% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. Darvish sixth on the board with an 11% chance of being a top 2 pitcher. And now in this one, we've got the Dodgers 5-man with a secondary White Sox stack, 3-man stack. Dodgers top of the board with an 11% chance of being the top stack. Then we've got the White Sox with a 6% chance of being the top stack. And as I said, this one a little bit more contrarian. So like this lineup quite a bit. All right, I'm going to save that. Now I'm just going to go through and save 20 lineups, see what our exposures look like after 20 lineups. 55% Tim Anderson, 50% Eloy Jimenez, 45% of Andrew Benintendi and Luis Robert, and of course, Spencer Strider. I don't mind this. I would probably just run with this set of 20 lineups. It is a pretty large slate here. I don't know exactly how many. I think 12 games is, if I'm remembering right, 12 games on the slate. So this is pretty condensed to the White Sox. 75% exposure to White Sox stacks is a bit much. Maybe I'd go back and get rid of some White Sox stacks, go to some other teams. But in terms of individual player exposures, I don't have more than 11 of my 20 lineups with anybody, just 11 Tim Anderson lineups, and then, of course, 10 of Eloy Jimenez. I think I'm okay with it. If I'm going to do anything, though, I might cut back a little bit on the White Sox because the slate is so large. All right, now I'm going to go take a look at some FanDuel lineups as well. Going to do all stack types, all lineup types, not locking anybody. Brandon Woodruff, the pitcher in this first one. Let's take a look in the FanDuel top pitchers tool. See where Woodruff ends up. Woodruff is fourth on the board with a 6% chance of being the top pitcher. This one, we've got the Orioles 4-man with the White Sox secondary 3-man stack here. So looking in the top stacks tool on FanDuel. Orioles second on the board with a 7% chance of being the top stack, 9% chance of being the top value stack. And then we had the White Sox third on the board, 7% chance of being the top stack, 9% chance of being the top value stack. So very similar teams there. And this one, chalkier end of the spectrum, but not like the far chalky end of the spectrum. And then Mookie Betts is a one-off here. Save this one. Now the second one, a little bit chalkier. Now we have Dylan Cease as the pitcher. Dylan Cease third on the board, 6% chance of being the top pitcher. We have a 4-3 White Sox Twins stack here with Mookie Betts as a one-off. Looking in the top stacks tool, White Sox, third on the board, 7% chance to be in the top stack. Twins, down a ways, 4% chance to be in the top stack, 5% chance to be in the top value stack. All right, now I'm just going to go through and save 20 lineups, see what my exposures look like. So after making 20 lineups, I have 75% Eloy Jimenez, 70% Tim Anderson, 65% Luis Robert, 50% Spencer Strider. Again, a little bit more White Sox than I think I would like. 85% White Sox stacks. I'd probably cut back a little bit on my White Sox, try to, spread out my exposure a little bit. But again, not the end of the world if I'm only playing 20 lineups. If I were playing 150, I would want to spread it out a lot more than this. But in 20 lineups, I don't mind being somewhat condensed. This might be just a little bit too much of the White Sox. I'd maybe try to cut back my White Sox stacks to like 60% or lower. Maybe try not to have more than 60% of any individual player at the very least. All right, that is going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Give me a like if you haven't already done so. And of course, if you haven't signed up, use my links. You're getting great deals here, both from Caesars and for the lineup generator. So highly recommend taking advantage of them if you haven't already done so. Good luck to